There we go. Hello. Oh man, haven't seen you for a long time. Wait, let me take off the headphones for a second. Sorry. YouTube was acting up as always. How are you? How have you been? Especially with the hot weather. If you can hear my fan blowing from the side in the mic, please let me know. I don't think you can, but maybe you can, so let me know. There we go. A long time. I think almost 100 days, right? That I haven't done anything on YouTube. Haven't uploaded anything. Yeah. How has your crazy summer been? I'm back in Vienna right now. It's very hot, and as you know, it has been insane. Like rivers have almost no water, and I'm gonna get on its clothes. There we go. Audio is fine. That's good. Okay, perfect. Very nice. Also, by the way, today I want to do it a little bit differently, where we start first with like chatting, because I don't know. I mean, that's this kind of thing they do on Twitch. And also like life story, life changes, stuff like that a little bit. So by the way, let me put this is also why I have the just chatting sign. It's over here on my stream, because that is how I want to start today. How are you? Let me read some names here. Hey, hi Do, hi Gaming 2121. Interesting. Okay. JCVGR. Hi, you have been a long time viewer, right? John Fraser 21. Hi, how are you doing? Hey, Triple Head Monkey is also here. Hi, how are you doing? One of the mods from our Discord. That is the place I never visit. I'm so sorry. I'm just not a chat person. Yeah. There's a lot of new names, I think. Me, what? Neanderthal. Okay, cool. Hi, how are you doing? I'm happy to see you again. Thank you very much. Yeah, don't disappear. I'm not disappearing. I just took like a break and stuff like that, and I want to change the channel a little bit. Hopefully, I shouldn't talk too much about plans, because usually when I talk about plans, I never do them, so that's not a good idea. But I want to start very like slow with the change, with the addition to the channel. And I also want to talk about that with you today a little bit. So yeah, let's see. Very Twitch, yes, right? But no donation overlays. For some reason, maybe in the future I'm gonna be, is Holy international like this drink, or is it just in Germany? Because German streamers all have that. I was never approached by any energy drink. I wish I would, because like there's so many like strange AI companies I don't want to advertise for. But an energy drink, I don't have a problem with that. So yeah, I know the feeling about plants. Yeah, right. Especially as soon as you say them. Never, I don't want to promise anything, because it's always, if I promise something else happens. Also, people have a different imagination about the stuff that is going on. Have you seen Minimax H3? I haven't followed up on AI news in a bit, to be honest. I have dealt with other things, but I think I mean, it's not like the world has completely changed, right? So Seedance 2.5 is out, and some other things have been out, right? Yeah, so the AI revolution Discord has been a lot quieter lately. Yes, to be honest, I don't know what to do with it. That is one of the biggest problems. Like, I have improved it. I think maybe it has been also a little bit quieter because I put on like spam filters and stuff. And some of the major, I don't want to say spammers, but like people who really pushed a lot of content into the Discord have left, because I said, hey, you can't like post 50 photos in a row, which are almost looking the same. So like, choose the best 5 and post that. I think that kind of makes it a better quality, but I don't know what to do with it. I'm not a chat person. I tried Reddit, but I personally, to be honest, I don't like Reddit. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Oh, there might be a new thing coming. And again, I don't want to promise anything, but I was thinking about starting on School, which is spelled SKOOL, about AI video. That might be a possibility, and this is more like a forum, and then there can be like live calls and live streams and lectures and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. Never say your plans on, although already done. There's a mysterious force against when we spoke. Yes, totally, right? Never promise plans, and then, especially if they are not, yeah, you're right. Like, say your plans when they are basically already finished so you can deliver on them, you're right? I was just checking it out. Checking out what? Oh, the Minimax thing. Right. Like I said, I don't know. Today, by the way, I subscribed again with Midjourney. I hope it's not going to be a super disappointment, because sometimes it is, because it doesn't really deliver on a lot of things. But on the other hand, it's for DreamCore. I think it might be one of the best things, because it's very creative and has beautiful colors. So there might be some possibilities, and then we maybe can bring it over to Runway to make it to animate it. I will also try and Midjourney to animate it, but Midjourney so far, the video is just not, it doesn't understand what you want to do. Can you use audio and image as a reference for awesome animated music videos? Oh, you can. Sorry, it wasn't a question. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can put that in there. I sent an example in your Discord, Yamlo. Ah, okay, cool. I will check that out. Very nice. Right. Today, by the way, I also want to look at this beauty here. I want to do some original OG sound, basically. Not music, just like abstract background sound to the videos, because it gives you a little bit more control. Also a topic I want to talk about a little bit. So yeah, I'm not a great conversationalist, to be honest. So that was always like the downside of my live streaming qualities. I'm not so good with dialogue, I think, in the community. I don't know. So I actually, other than how are you? I don't know what to ask you, to be honest, right now. What can I say? One thing I wanted to talk about is a little bit life goals. It's also a little bit impact the channel, but just a little bit, just a tiny bit. One of the positive things is depression gone. I worked it out in the last couple of months after 15 years, which is pretty good, or 20 years, let's say. Long time. But then last 6 months, last 1 year maybe, worked out, gone. So that's pretty cool. Which is very nice. One thing that's left behind, of course, is if you have it for so long a time, you kind of don't know who you are at that point. So your feelings are like, you know, rationally, your brain is like, yeah, let's do it again. Let's jump into the positive side. And your body is like, but I don't know how to, like, what to do with that, you know? And that's like, kind of like figuring out the stuff right now in that area, regaining that ability, which is coming back very nicely, but and this is also a little bit of the change for the channel. I just got banned from your Discord for telling the mods to delete the scam message. Really? I don't know anything about that, to be honest. So maybe Triple Hat Monkey, if you can message, I like Fusion developer, if you can message Triple Hat Monkey, maybe there was an error by the auto mod. That could be, because if you like use certain words like, I think, crypto or Bitcoin or that kind of like stuff, it's like, I think not banning you, but like muting you for a certain amount, stuff like that. And there's some other limitations, I'm not quite sure. Or if you promote, like if you solicitate any kind of service, which is always a bad sign because we don't know what's going on in the DMs. So as soon as you say, oh, I can like for money do stuff for you, yeah, it's the door, because there's so many people doing shady shit. It's just not a good thing, you know? Honeypot channel? Yeah, there's a honeypot channel, right? And if you write anything in there, you are automatically banned. That's just the purpose of the honeypot, because the bots don't know it, and then they write something, and then it gets automatically removed, right? Hey, Helga, how are you doing? Nice to also hear from you. Nice to see you in the in the live stream. There we go. Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry, that was a strange welcome. Anyways, what else to talk about? Okay. Okay, let's a little bit back to the life changes. So one thing for me that is interesting, I talked about that last time I was in Bangkok, which I guess, how long is that ago? Is that always already half a year ago? Is to go more in the direction of life experience rather than just AI, because AI has become so sufficient and you basically, you just write something, it does it. So you don't really need too much of an explanation. But at that moment, what people need is more inspiration on the one hand, but then also for me, there's another part is actual exploration. And that is something I want to share with you. And this is where I want to start very slowly on the channel, where I thought maybe let's do a video on my main channel every 2 weeks. I upload something, a short video. Because I'm right now in Vienna and I have to stay in Vienna for the time, I'm not traveling so much, because it should be about traveling and exploring different places and stuff like that. But for now, it's a format I call walk and talk. Now, I was thinking a lot about the benefit. Now, I don't know how much you're interested in the whole development story, because I'm really planning on stuff like research deeply and then trying to figure out how it works it best. And one thing I figured out is talking about concepts and history and philosophies and stuff is incredibly boring, even to myself. I can't listen to it. It's really beautiful in a book. If you read like a 500-page book about, I don't know, Buddhist philosophy or the story of Vietnam, that's great. But if you talk about like 10 minutes in a video, it's very exhausting. You can't do that. But what I found out is what you can do is just walk around and talk about your life and what's going on and what you see and what you experienced at that moment. So you share the emotions, but it's also a personal journey. And I think that could add some value in the sense of my creative background, artistic, philosophical background, but also life journey-wise, overcoming depression, developing life in a more interesting way. What are the life values that are interesting to go for? Stuff like that. Also maybe concepts of my life, but also the concept that I don't want to teach anything and I don't want to be right about anything. I'm rather learning together with you. This is also why I want to do it with a community and not say, let's just not do it and just travel and be good with that. I want to do it with you. I want to share that experience with you. Like I said, most of the stuff on the channel is going to be about AI, but then every 2 weeks, I'm going to upload one of these videos and see how it goes. If there's no interest at all, there's nothing I can do about that. But if there's some interest, maybe we can make the frequency higher, say, 1 video per week or stuff like that. Sorry, I should look on the chat once in a while. Okay, thank you. Nice to see you. Okay, already. Music phone. I think I like to visit Vienna for the African festival. Yeah, it's very nice. It's every year. But I hear it's supposed to be really hot there. It is very hot, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. I mean, you can buy water everywhere. Maybe get one of these on not eBay, on Amazon, and then you're good, I guess. Or one of these, normal air fans. You just go like this. Good enough. There's shade. It's also on the Donauinsel, where there should always be a little bit of wind, and then also it's usually go there at night, and then there's concerts and stuff and food, so it shouldn't be too hot. So don't worry about that. If you come, let me know. We could meet up and maybe go there together. That would be very nice. And maybe we do a video together about life experience. That could already be the first topic, right? So yeah, I feel like in that area, there's so much to talk about in the different things of, I don't know. How can you experience life? What you can do with art? How can you express yourself? There's a lot of different concepts, a lot of different ways to approach it. And of course, there's a lot of different cultures also to explore. So I feel like that's a very worthy topic. And for me, one of my dreams would be, and I know it's a little bit insane, is to say, well, I have achieved, I don't want to brag about anything, but incredible success on YouTube because like the amount of followers I have is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is in the 0.1% of YouTubers. So almost nobody gets that high. I know people who have way better content than me, and way like less followers than I have. So to have all of that and then say, yeah, but you know what? Actually, I want to go around and I want to share my like journey with my community rather than embracing that and making like tons of money with that, with the AI stuff is kind of insane. But on the other hand, you have to basically follow what makes your life, gives your life happiness. You know what I mean? So I want to do both in a certain degree. But the dream to be someone who can like go around the world, share the experience, have a learning journey, and grow together with the community. It just sounds kind of better than making funny little clips with AI. You know what I mean? Even though that's also amazing, the one thing just sounds better, you know, in a certain way. How can I contact you? That is really a good question. I would say if you go to my channel, there's a link for email, and then you can email me and put in the title of the email Africa Festival Vienna, so I know it's from you, and you will get an automatic reply that says that these emails are just for business purposes. Don't worry about that. That's everybody gets that reply. That's just so people don't like write me a ton of emails about any kind of problem they have with, I don't know, ComfUI or something like that. Without making plans, how interested are you in still into each element of AI output wise? For example, music, image, video, audio. I want to talk about that today. This is kind of the next topic to talk about. How long was the stream so far? I don't even know. Why can't I see that? Oh, maybe I can see it down here. 18 minutes. Should we already jump the topic? Do you want to know more about my amazing life plans, or do you already snooze? Already not care about it. By the way, one thing I do in addition to incredibly like researching a topic before I do something like this change of the channel, which I have planned, like I wanted, and this is like, sorry, a little side thing maybe. One thing I realized is that everybody has mental and capacity limitations of what they can do. And for some people, things are almost impossible that are for other people extremely easy to do. For example, for me, it's extremely easy to go on a stage in front of 500 people and just talk about a topic for 30 minutes, even with no preparation, because I love to be in front of people. So no problem, even that is a mental massive problem for most people. But then for me, to go and travel and make a video and just say, hey, look, I'm in a nice temple. Do you like that? Is very hard compared to doing the videos I do every day, which is, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I have to overcome that and do that. And finding out you can do a video where you just walk around and talk about what is in your mind right now and share the experience you have right now takes so much pressure away from having to say something smart all the time, right? So that's an interesting point. And that helps me very, very much. And this is also where I say, I don't want to teach anything. I want to learn. I want to search. I want to find something. And yeah, that kind of direction. Sorry, the other thing I wanted to say is one thing I'm very good at is buying equipment before I start anything. So I have an X5. Look at that. I bought that last time when I went to Bangkok because I thought I'm going to make travel videos. And actually, I recorded everything when I was in Vietnam for 10 days. I have about 1.5 terabyte on data from this camera, and I have not cut it yet because another blockade. But then I also bought an Ace Pro 2 because better video when I want to vlog, which is cool because it has like this little pop-up screen here, which is also very nice. So I'm very good at buying equipment and then not using it because I think the content is not good enough. But I have to overcome that. Okay, anyways. The AI output, what you asked me about, should we go to that? Got me into AI music. Since then, I hardly make any Conf UI tutorials anymore. Really? Oh, I got you into AI music. Did I even ever make a video about AI music? Did I make tutorials about Suno? I mean, basically, Suno, you write what you want to have and then you have it. So there's not really something to explain. But okay, let's talk about the artistic aspect. And this is also some other aspect. This is of this kind of returning of interest. So before that, sorry. Another excursion, another little, like, very short excursion. I started out not my life, that sounds stupid, but I started out studying art and then later also for some semesters, but not finished, starting philosophy. So my mind was always around the topic of exploring artistic concepts, philosophical concepts, and thinking about human culture, human forms of expression, and what humans do in general, but artistically, culturally, all these kind of things, right? And I was extremely happy with that. And then, wow, 20 years of depression, which really distanced me from all of that. I didn't even read any books about that, mostly. But now it's coming back, because now depression is gone, it's out of the door. Now the interests are there, and I already have like a big pile of books I want to read. Oh, I wanted to show you one of the books. Which brings me back to AI. So one of the things that's really, sorry, I should look more on the chat maybe. One of the things that's really interesting is I'm reading a book. This is the first book I think I read about, and I don't know the English title. The first book I read about art is from Kandinsky. Wait, let me find this. And I want to show you this real quick. English title. What is the English title for that? Okay, the English title is very different. I mean, is it so different? I don't know. So the English title of his book is concerning the spiritual in art, which I would not have thought that might be the title of the book, because in German it's über das Geistige in der Kunst. So about I would translate geistig with not the mental, but like philosophical part, the thinking part in art, to bring that back, spiritual, but it is like a lot of his stuff is about the spiritual in art, or bringing that into art, right? So maybe we should, let me find some paintings. 1 second. Landscape painting, so I can show you a difference. Wait, classic. Oh, wait. Still life painting. Yeah, maybe let's take this. Is this a painting? Holy shit, that's pretty good. I can't really tell if these are classic. This is a classic painting. Okay, cool. And we need a second one. 1 second. Kandinsky art. Okay, 1 second. So this is really interesting and important for AI art. Now, oh, you don't see my screen. 1 second. Let me check. Let me switch over the screen. So here we are. Can I make this bigger? 1 second. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. And then we have this. All right. So you might think I'm going crazy when I show you this. This is not it. This is it. Okay, cool. I can close this and that. Okay. So, let's talk about that for a second, and why this is important for, I think this is a photo and not a painting. It looks very much like a photo. Okay. Unless it's an incredibly good painting, which also might be the case. These are too modern. How about this one? That looks certainly like a painting. Okay, so I have to talk about that for a second here. Yeah, that looks like a painting. All right, all right, all right. Let's remove that. Okay, there we go. So, this is also why I chose DreamCore today. So the reason for that is, by the way, I can't see the chat right now. Where's the chat? There's a chat. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's put this over here. Okay. So, the reason for that is, if you think about AI, what it does is pattern recognition, right? And it learns from the things that came from the past, but it looks analytically at them in pattern recognition and then recreates something out of that in inference, for example, right? As one of the processes that AI is using. But because of that, first of all, it is limited to things that have happened before. And right now, innovation is still limited in what AI can do. But at the same time, because of the pattern recognition, it is often very focused on, well, creating these structures like this image here. So this is a classic still life. This is not an AI image, but this is a classic artwork, right? So what Kandinsky is saying in his book is that he calls this materialistic art. What he means by that is because it's just trying to mimic reality. It just tries to paint something that looks as real as possible and has this nice impression. Of course, there's some additional layer to that. So with the still life, it often wants to remind you that you are that you die, you should enjoy life. All kinds of, like, there's a different kind of topic behind that. But it is not a personal, individual expression of your emotion. And also when the brain looks at it, of course, I directly see what it is. Like, there's a peach, there's grapes, there is this what's the English word for that? I can't remember. Lobster. There we go. So your rational mind is jumping on that and already analyzing it, and already pattern recognition, and already defining the things and separating them from each other, and all that kind of processes is happening here. And then, of course, if you also have time, if you have art knowledge, or you come from that time, which gives you by definition the knowledge, because that is what your art, like your time, understands under the visual language, you also know what it's meant to mean, right? And all of that is nice, but it also limits art to just doing that, to just depicting something, right? Now, what he says is, but what about the rest? Because art should explore the unspoken things, right? It should go beyond just depicting something like a grape and then just like telling you some story about life, or some philosophy from the Bible or the ancient Greeks with Hercules fighting a lion or stuff like that, right? So, and then we have the art from Kandinsky, which is this. And a lot of people even today say, is that art? I don't know. It looks like something my child can paint. And it might be true, and it might be true in a more interesting way than you might realize, because what your child can do, but you can't do, is to be fully in the moment and fully embrace this playfulness expression and fully just create without reasoning and not searching for an explanation, but just creating. It doesn't look for patterns, it just does. And it doesn't categorize, it just does. Again, it's in the moment, right? So, the interesting part about this is when you look at that, your brain doesn't know what it is. It doesn't know what to do with it. So, and one thing that science afterwards also found out is when you see something like this, your rational logic mind can't handle it. So it goes directly into a different part of your brain, which tries to feel these things, but without understanding them, which is very difficult to do if you're an adult, because everything around us is defined by our understanding and categorizing of our knowledge about the world, which also means you can't see things that you don't have words for or an understanding for. They are just not in your visual perception. The brain doesn't pick up on them, right? So, for example, there's other languages, for classic example of like northern cultures, Russians and the Inuit and so on. They have way more words for snow because they have a lot of snow. So they have to have a lot of knowledge about that snow, because for survival, that's pretty important to categorize it, right? So when they look at it, they can see it, but you can't, because you don't have that form of perception. You have not learned to differentiate and categorize it. So that means what you don't know, you can't see. So language and education and behavior and all that thing is very important for us, but it also limits us in that way that we can't go beyond that. It is very, very hard to go beyond that. And this is also where artistic training becomes important, to be able to try to learn to go beyond that. Now, the interesting thing for AI now is a lot of the things that people say, especially from the art background, is, how can I still be an artist if AI can do it faster and better than me, with a lot of skill that I would have to learn all of my life to be that good? And in a lot of ways, that is true. You can't. You're competing against something that is way better than you. But what AI can't do, and probably never will be able to do, at least in our lifetime, is introspection and feeling and emotion without analyzing or context or categorization. So we can read in the subtext, we can read between the line, we can have a subconscious connection to something, right? So, for example, what I explained before about my situation right now, my brain has overcome a situation my body has not overcome yet. So there's a differentiation, and my body has to like pick up on these cues, which is normally done just through the physical process of doing things. So the body learns to do the things again. And joy is one of these parts. Emotions is one of that part. You have to learn how to feel, so you can feel, right? It's not just automatically there. And AI can't do that, but you can. So this artistically gives you the ability to create something that AI cannot catch up to, right? So that is a huge benefit, to understand that, to dive into that, and create artistic cultural expression from that, also your personal understanding and cultural understanding, which we have done since modern art came around, right? So wait, let me find real quick. I don't know. Let me find this real quick. 1 second. There we go. Let's. This is Getty image. I don't want to use that. Let's try this. This is way too small. Okay, one moment. I'm almost there. If it would work, that would be nice. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, let's just use any of these pictures. Doesn't really matter. Okay, one moment. So, I mean, this is something you certainly know, but it's still interesting to say it. So, of course, this is, I don't know, it's probably not a classic photo, but let's say this is a classic photo, like classic portrait, right? So before, artists painted this, because nobody could do it, right? And suddenly machine comes around, machine does this in a second. Back in the day, not a second, but now, which is way better than this can ever be, because as you can see, even though this is very good, it's not realistic. It's not like there's a lot of mistakes in there, right? So the machine is very, very superior to anything that the human can do in this kind of regard, even with projection tools and stuff like that, which today is a basis for almost all painters. They use photos in the background to construct the painting before they paint, because it's just easier, and nobody can paint that well. Usually, right? So what did the artists do? They did this. This is finding a new direction from what you are no longer useful for yourself, right? There is still portrait painting, and there is still landscape painting, and there is still like paintings of like religious figures and stuff like that, of course, because there's a market for that. But it isn't no longer like artistic innovation unless it is actual artistic innovation. And I'm not saying this is like the end of artistic innovation. This is just like one step that is really old. Like this guy has lived before us. This art is like, long gone, but still very interesting, right? But for you, the interesting part is now that a machine is here that can basically do everything better than you can in a process, in a pattern, in something that can be replicated digitally and some maybe even physically with the robots. Where is your purpose? Where is your position in that, right? And that has to or could be introspection. It could be your emotion. It could be your expression. It could be an artistic playfulness with the subconscious, with the like the subtext in between the lines, all these kind of things, right? That is a possibility where you can go into, and of course that is also interesting for AI creation, right? So that was a pretty long monologue. What's the time, by the way? Oh, there we go. We're still like very fresh, not even like 40 minutes yet. Okay. Unisys pilot can't do anything alone. Well, AI can do things alone. We just don't allow it alone because it's not good enough. But I mean, in that regard, you're right. But we will get there soon enough with a lot of processes. Like, for example, music creation. I can make a chill out jazz album with 50 tracks in 10 minutes. No problem. I don't need to rent a studio for 5 years to do that because AI can do it on its own. And I'm pretty sure, like in the future, we're going to have companies like Amazon, like just creating on demand a full stream or a podcast about a topic, stuff like that, because a machine can do it, right? Kandinsky is pretty fascinating, yeah, right? Painting it myself. It is always more difficult to paint these things as you might think, right? So they look easy, but then if you try it, figuring out the balance between the shapes and the colors and getting a nice dynamic and balance in there and actually having an expression behind that is way harder than anybody might think. Can someone who is incapable of emotions like a psychopath surpass AI? In what way? I don't understand what that means. Like surpass, in what capacity would he surpass it, right? Also, I think they do have emotions, but they have different kind of emotions, right? Or different set, a different limitation. If your young child draws a picture, you value it more than the quality of the picture itself. That's true. That's true because you have a personal connection to that, right? This is also what goes beyond the picture at that point, right? You create a personal value. By the way, this is another topic. This is another topic to talk about. 1 second. I have to find another video. Sorry, another picture. All right. 1 second. Almost there. Ew, what the hell is this? There we go. Okay. Yeah, we can use that scene. I hope this is no problem with copyright or anything. Okay. This is another topic to talk about. I need the chat again. 1 second. Let's put it over here. No, it doesn't work. Now it works. Okay, thank you very much. Boom. There we go. Miyazaki, the I don't know, the creative mastermind behind the Ghibli movies. I think you pronounce it differently in Japan, but I don't care right now. So this is My Neighbor Totoro, and he has a lot of like other movies, as you know, and you probably all know them. Like one thing that's interesting about that is a lot of people describe it as his movies are a memory of a life you never had, which means they connect to you dramatically, impactful, deeply, emotionally, they touch you, right? And the interesting thing now is he is a working beast, which means he is in office 12, 14, 16 hours a day all of his life. He works amazingly hard, which is also necessary because the AI business is incredibly harsh to survive in, right? So it's kind of like a requirement to give up on life. So the question is, where does he have this introspection, this view, this insight into what life feels like? How does he know? How can he express that? Now, the interesting thing about that is, first of all, he's a very, very good observer of things that are happening around you, right? So he looks at his children and his surrounding and nature. He loves nature, all these kind of things. But he only does it for a certain limited amount, right? And then he works it out in his office with his team artistically. Now, this is the more important part. And the thing that is happening in that process is that you have the original gesture that is happening. For example, a child is running and then stumbling, right? But what you want to do, or what he's doing in the process, this is an assumption from me, correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, is working artistically through the process. So the gesture is still there of the child stumbling, but you have to transfer that into an artistic, poetic impression. Because what is happening in that moment when you watch the movie is not that you see the child stumbling, but that it is artistically. Should I switch over? I don't know. No, it is artistically expressed in a way that it delivers to you the inside feeling, because that is the bigger part of your world perception, is what you feel inside, how you connect to things emotionally, how you reflect on them. This is why the films feel like a memory from a life you never had, because this is how you remember things from your own life. So he connects directly to nostalgia and the golden age and all these kind of things and your childhood dreams and all that. But that is an artistic expression. It is not reality. It is an idealized, really highly stylized form of that to give you that inside emotion, which is really important because information is not neutral. It is not abstract. It can exist abstract in the internet on its own, but we as like humans don't have connection to that because we have always emotion, which is also is a completely different topic of a common misconception is that everybody who sees a situation understands the situation in the same way or has access to the same understanding, which is completely not true. We all have a completely different perspective because the only thing we know about the world is what we have seen about the world so far and how we felt about that and how our genes and our family and our social surrounding and everything makes us feel about the moment. The other things, which is the vast majority of things, is non-existent to us. We've never seen it. We've never felt it. We can't feel in that different way about that situation. The only thing we know is a little keyhole that we can look through and that we can feel through, right? And this is what's happening here. It's a transformation from a real moment into something that is so worked through artistically that it evokes in you that emotion that you have felt and this feeling of nostalgia. So it's not the real moment you look at, it's the nostalgia memory that you look at. Completely different process. And this is why he doesn't have to spend a life outside in the world to feel these emotions, to be able to artistically express them. He can observe them for a short amount of time, but very intensely, and then work through the process with his team to figure out the visual language, the expression, and the very moment he wants to show that is important to invoke this nostalgia in you, right? So, yeah. Sorry, another monologue. Whoop, that's the wrong screen. There we go. All right, there we go. What was the thing I actually answered to? I can't remember. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry for that. Let me go back here and let me go back here and let me go and see this. There we go. Okay, cool. What was it? Oh yeah, the like if you look at the painting of your child, I remember now. Sorry for that. Is it like a tape gave people to the ability to record and play back anything, but it was people like John Cage who truly explored what you could do with tapes beyond just recording. Yes, right. And this is also what synthesizers give us: is a new dimension of sound where every sound, or you can create sounds that nobody has heard before because there's like gazillions of possible ways to program any kind of synthesizer, right? So you can always come up with something unheard and create an artistic musical landscape of your own, from your own, right? There we go. Okay, cool. What's the time, by the way? 46 minutes. Should we go over to DreamCore? Should we now do AI? Everybody, has everyone fallen asleep so far? No, I don't hope so. Yeah. All right. By the way, this is also the kind of stuff I want to talk about in the walk and talk videos. And I think that might be interesting, and it's interesting to work through the process together with you about these thoughts, because for me they're also new. Everything I say is something I think I understood from what I have learned, but there's a billion other views that might also be good and give me new perspective, right? So growing is a together process. It's not something you do on your own. Okay, let's head over to, let's close some stuff here. 1 second. We don't, oh, I can leave this open. We don't need that. We don't need this. We might need that. And there we go. Okay, cool. 1 second. So, Midjourney. Let's figure out some stuff we can do with DreamCore. You can post some suggestions in the chat if you want to, and otherwise, we're gonna explore this kind of topic. I also whipped up here an explanation from Grok, which I also gonna cancel shortly because it's dead. The new model is extremely like censored and extremely limited in how much you can create for the money you pay, which is not that cheap either anyways. So DreamCore is a surrealistic internet aesthetic that emerged in the 2010s and 20s. Is it that old? Holy crap. Gaining mature popularity around 20 to 21, especially on TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest. It aims to visually recreate the feeling of being inside a dream or a half remembering one. Okay. It bleeds the familiar with the strange. Scenes often look like distorted childhood memories, half-forgotten places, and everyday environments stripped of normal logic and people. The results feel both comforting and nostalgic and slightly unsettling or uncanny. Viewers commonly describe this emotion as a mix of nostalgia, anemoia, nostalgia for a time or place you've never actually known. Oh, anemoia. I've never heard that. This might be a good word for the Ghibli thing. Mild unease and dreamlike detachment. It's still the least censored. Yes, for the chat, I appreciate it. However, one problem with Grok is it is good for a lot of things, but in political topics, it is crazy right-wing to a very bad degree, in a very bad way, which also kind of makes me trust it less in other areas, you know? So, I don't know if I want to support that financially. And I also don't know if I can trust that source if it goes like really off the rails in a certain direction and like really tries to avoid answering things or falsifies answers. As far as I can tell, these are just my personal opinions, not facts. But yeah, but it is good. It is good in a lot of ways, you know. When it decided to be fully paid, is it fully paid? I think you can still do it a little bit for free. Okay, you know what? I will let's just ask for DreamCore. let's be really cheap here and just ask for DreamCore. And I hope this is not going to bring a naked lady on the screen. Are we in fast mode right now? Oh, which model are we using, by the way? 8.2. Okay, that's good. Can close this here. Submitting? We're in fast. What do you mean submitting? Why is it not rendering right now? Oh, there we go. Ooh, ooh, whoa! This is way better than I thought. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but this is not so great. The one with the skull is pretty cool, though. It's kind of interesting. Pretty surrealist, to be honest. Oh, we can make it even bigger. There we go. And then we have this. I like this one. This is pretty cool. Could be like a music cover, right? It's pretty interesting. Okay, but I want to do something different. I want to go more, yeah, I don't know. Maybe also with people or something. How do you write meadow? Let's just write it like this. It's probably wrong. Ooh. Okay. If you have some ideas what you want to try, we can try that. Also, we have some ideas from Grok. I asked that too. So you see, we have 100 ideas here. What do we have here? A foggy playground at dusk, swinging, moving. It's swings moving by themselves. Oh, creepy. Chattel bedroom slowly folding with soft. Bedroom slowly flooding with soft pink water. Abandoned indoor pool with still water reflecting the storage. I don't know. Let's explore the concept. Do you see my screen? Yes, you do. My big body and head is in front of this, so let's move it over here so you can see everything better, what I'm looking at here. Let's get some other ideas. I mean, the classic with the astronaut in a flower field. Let's just push out some ideas here. We should maybe ask more for dreamlike. I like to make AI art of my dreams. I like that too. And my nightmares. Do you like your nightmares more than your dreams? That is maybe a strange question to ask, because personally I have to say that my nightmares are, if even you could call them nightmares, are more interesting than my regular dreams. So I like them more, which often have labyrinths in them for some reason. DreamCore, let's ask for that. Like I said, if you have some ideas what you want to do, you can suggest that. Ugh. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Let's try this again. Teddy bears. I did a giant monster wasp. Oh, I have had a nightmare about, but made it funny so it wasn't scary. Oh, interesting. Sometimes it's like that. I had several zombie apocalypse dreams over the years, and they were always scary but great. Right? Yeah, it's kind of like interesting. I also have these like apocalypse streams running through like end of the world. You're running through some underground tunnels and dungeons and stuff like that. They are like nice, but not exactly what I'm looking for, to be honest. Um, hmm. Glowing eyes at the viewer. Let's see what we can get here. Oh. Maybe I should turn off my personalization. Let's try eerie. Is today like very busy on Midjourney? I don't know. Let's turn off the personalization because it might be a little bit too strong. Aha. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that's already better. Look at that. Huh. Interesting. Is that? How do you like that? Let's change it to creatures. It's a little bit too nightmarish, maybe. It has to be, should be nicer, right? More, ooh. Oh. Oh. It looks more like a video game now. But, wow. Okay, interesting. Wait. Nope, nope, nope. Let me go back. Okay. Okay, I want only one video. And then automatic high motion. Let's do it automatic high motion and see what happens. And also how fast it works. I don't know right now. 80s aesthetic movies. Oh, that's also interesting. Okay. Let's see. 80s style. Okay. 89%. Pretty good. Oh, is it finished? It's finished. Ah, they're always talking. I hate that. Okay, we have to do this differently. 1 second. Should we try this? Maybe we should try this because they don't have mouths. Oh, loop. They have loop now. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's doing it automatically. You don't even have a say. Uh-huh. Okay, interesting. You have horror stuff that doesn't really scare you. Maybe is it because of the limitations of what the AI can do in the sense of like censorship, or is it in? I mean, you can train AI on models that are more scary, maybe on images, maybe as a starting point, and then. Well, that's a weak loop. Okay. So far, so far it's not so great. Let me try this here. I have to admit right now, I don't know how to make a video. Oh, do I have to put this here? Ah, yeah, start frame. Oh yeah, motion high. Oh, loop. Should we try loop again? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can do anything with that. I'm still a big fan of ComfUI, but keeping your setup functional is a real-time sync because performance tweaks constantly break custom nodes. Yes, I think that's one of the biggest problems with ComfUI is that you have to always upkeep and update and relearn, and then the model changes, and then you have to rebuild stuff and things like that. Let me know if you have any more like better ideas on what we can do with this, or what kind of prompts to try also, by the way. The 80s style, by the way, it didn't really change too much about that, right? Let's see what this does. The loop function is kind of strange, to be honest. Didn't really... By the way, we can also, of course, explore here and search for stuff. Search images. DreamCore. Let's crowdsource this. Well, ooh. Ah. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Gonna steal that. Let's try it like this. And then let's try it with the personalization and see what the difference is. Ooh. But still like more horror-like, scary. Okay. Let's animate this. Let's make it maybe low motion and see what happens with that. And then maybe we can add some sound to that. Play around with that a little bit. Maybe deeply offended isn't the right word. Deeply offended? Who's deeply offended? I mean, also, I think like horror is not really that easy to make it scary. And also the problem might be that, of course, because you created, you already know what you're creating. And because of that, you can't be surprised by yourself. It's like trying to scare yourself. It's not really happening. So maybe one of the reasons that it isn't really scary for you is because you are the source of it. So far, all of this doesn't really do anything for me. We have to go in a different direction. Okay. Let's see if we get something from this. Also not so, I mean, it's a little bit interesting, but not really. We could also, by the way, another thing we can do is look for all the things. For example, this is pretty cool here. Let's try this and make it 16 by 9. It might also be that maybe 16 by 9 is not the right format for that kind of thing, right? What is this? These are my old eerie kind of images here from the backrooms kind of stream that we did like a long time ago. What is this, for example? Ooh. Oh. How about that? That is pretty good. Okay, cool. Very nice. Let's try that. Some clowns, some spiders. This is also maybe nice. Let's try this. See what we get from these things. This I don't want to put because it's a little bit too scary, maybe. Let's try that one. That's just the image from the... this might also be a little bit too scary here. Oh. Yes, please. Okay, cool. Good. So we have now some blasts from the past. Oh my god, my personalization is going crazy. Ooh. Ooh la la. All right. We are in business. This looks really good. Okay, let's put this here and then let's try the loop again. Can we write sensual or not? Slow. How do I make a negative prompt again? Or let's just say no talking. Does it work like that? Because I'm not sure if 8.2 can have the no and then... Was it like that? If it doesn't work, I think it's going to tell us. Let's see. Is it square? No, it's not square. Okay. Glowing green stuff. I like that cyan blue one. This one, that's also very nice. Yes. Let's have a look at this, how this turns out. And then we can go further with that. By the way, one second. Let me see real quick. 1 second. I'm going to go to the talk screen here real quick. Syntax. Manage description. Aha. Okay. Just wanted to check so we don't run out on fast hours in the middle of the stream. This is also very nice. I like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Which one? This one. This one is very nice. Okay, let's animate this. Let's also make it, let's make this low motion and see. Well, the looping is kind of stupid. I have to try this again and say low motion. Maybe not a loop this time. Let's just make it normal. And then it just skips, but maybe the skipping might be more like useful than this kind of like backward forward kind of thing. Very gooey. Now that I look at it and they move, it looks like something else. But anyways, or the spider from Lord of the Rings. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure of that. All right. So much for DreamCore. Holy crap, what is going on here? Ooh. What the hell? Okay. We have to see this. What in the name is going on here? Is there like an extend button? Start frame, low motion, high motion. Is this extending it? Let's see, because it's kind of like cool. I don't know. 1 second, let's try this one again. And then let's put this here. No loop this time, and say slowly rotating to the left, to the right. Okay, let's see what this does. Are we finished here? Oh, we are. What is this chittering? Do you see that? It's like insane chitter on in the video. It's kind of very strange. Let's put the headphones on. Let's see. 1 second. Let's go here. Okay. Let's put this on and see when we put some sound to it. Apart from the motion being pretty goofy, does it make it more interesting with these sounds? Let's see what we have here now. Huh, interesting. It would be interesting to get some like interesting sounds on that. Where are we right now? 1 second, let's go here. Or maybe we can open this up. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, that might be good for something else. Oh, wait. How's this? Is the sound loud enough for that? What do you think about that? By the way, I have to make this a little bit smaller here because I can't see the chat if this is on. Yeah, it's not right? Wait, we have to go to, where's the categories, by the way? Oh, no. Pet sounds, yes. This would be really cool if you have something that's a little bit more like horror-like, right? Let's try it with this real quick. No. The movement they do is so goofy and stupid. And this had nothing to do with what we did originally. Who is that? Like, what the hell is going on right now? This is Midjourney acting up on me, right? You know what? Before we go on, let's try some of these older scenes because they are. What is this? Ooh. Okay, cool. 1 second. Because they are already working, and then we can go from there. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Could be more deeper. Kind of fits, maybe. 1 second. Can I use this? Should I maybe push this to the other screen so you don't see it? Let's put it over here. And this is not loud enough. Ooh. Can we go higher? That is not too bad. Gives it some unsettling kind of motion. Ooh. Oh, we had that before, I think. It would be good to have some, like, more eerie sounds right now. Nope. Wait. How about that? Kind of interesting, I would say. You can hear a sound like that yourself faster and better using AI. Really? How can you do that with AI? Because like the problem with Suno is that it ever makes a melody, and I don't like that. It would be better if it would create something like not a melody, right? So these are like older things I have done. Oh. With that guy here. Oh, he's nice. He's getting a little bit shocked. Oh, and the image quality is so bad. That's also kind of nice. But I would like to have some more interesting sounds. Let's have a look at this one here. Let's try this real quick. And you know what? Let's add some reverb to that real quick. 1 second. Where's my reverb? There we go. Okay, let's have a look. It would be better if it's more unsettling. Still not 100% happy with the unsettlingness. Nope. Nope. Oh, now we are again outside of the categories. 1 second. Give me a moment, please. There we go. Oh, is this better? What to be honest, what I like about it is the repetition. Oh, that's a nice one. How about we go higher? That sounds like an old tape. That's nice. Oh, I'm getting a little bit sick. Motion sickness from the sound. That's pretty heavy. Okay. Not too bad, right? Interesting creation. I feel like with the sound, especially because if you control the sound yourself, you can put your own emotion and expressiveness into the video, right? Should we maybe try this? And let's turn this off again, and then let's see what we get from that. Maybe we can get some new stuff from this. And then maybe image prompt. Ooh. Oh, okay. Let's put this in here and see what we can get from that. Let's go back to create and see what we have here. Ooh. Ooh. The only thing that's missing is that kind of like visual effect. Here it is a little bit. I don't know why it's not doing it more, to be honest. That's very strange. And also, why is it now only that one thing? I mean, these are also very nice. Let's see. Let's make low motion and see what we get from that. Are you making shining? Yeah, kind of, right? Should we maybe make something that's a little bit more like happiness or something like that? I always tend to go a little bit more in the dark area. Ooh, that's a little bit like Shining style, or not? Okay, let's see what we have here. No, what did it do? Oh, describe. Okay, I didn't want that. Oh. Is 8.2 kind of shit, or is it like, am I doing something wrong? I don't know. How do you like that? Is that interesting? Maybe we should also do some nice positive DreamCore. There's a lot of like very beautiful things, Maybe this is a little bit too much in the dark area. How much does it cost you to generate each video in dollars? That is a very good question. So I can't give you a dollar amount because this is Midjourney, where you have it really depends, to be honest. Like you have different plans. Let me see if I can show you the plans. 1 second. Nope, that's not it. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. So you have these plans. Can you see them? Yes. I'm on this plan right now, which is 15 fast hours, which you don't really need to have or use because you have here unlimited image generation. In that case, I pay $30 per month because I only got it for 1 month. Then for 60 a month, you can also get unlimited video generation, which is kind of unlimited, but there's a queue. You have to wait a little bit, but the queue is not super long. So Midjourney is probably one of the fairest pages about the video unlimitedness. But these are SD videos, not HD videos, but it is still good enough. But however, what you can do is if you rate or rank these videos by here the tasks, or do any of these tasks, you can get a free hour of fast generation every day. So basically, if you do this every day, you get 30 hours of free generation for free. And with that free or fast generation, you can also generate videos. So basically for 30 bucks, you can get a lot of videos generated. Right now, I've used so far, how much is it? Almost 40 minutes of render time, right? For the videos and the images I've created so far. You can also, if you want to buy more fast hours, I don't even know what they cost. Oh, there you go. So 12 fast hours cost 48, so $2 per hour, which I don't think we did too many videos right now. If you go with the unlimited plan, you can have unlimited videos with the like waiting time when it's to start. But it from my experience is not that long a waiting time. The only limitation is Midjourney is not great at video. This is one of the problems. I will show you what I mean by that 1 second. So when you go, for example, here, and you have something like this, what is it? Let's see this one. Well, that's actually kind of good. But then you have something like this, and you can see like he's not shooting the gun. And you can like prompt 10 times he's not shooting the gun. It always looks kind of strange. Or there should be another video where a guy with a gun is... can't find it right now. It's really good at doing stuff like this, where a guy's just looking somewhere. Like easy emotions, very good. Complex emotions, forget about it. Can't do it. What is he doing here? So he's lighting a cigarette. Which also, again, it doesn't really work. You can see the cigarette is already burning. There's no light on the face when he's lighting it, stuff like that. So it's not a very efficient or good model. But stuff like this, it can do. Like easy movements, limited motion, not much control over what's happening in the scene. You can do that. And then you can get a lot of like scenes out of that. Or what you can do is to generate the images here and then go over to any other page that uses Seedance or any kind of stuff like that, and then generate a image from that, right? So that's maybe a better possibility from that. Okay. Should we do also some positive stuff maybe? Or even though I don't even know what kind of music I can do, we can do some bells for that. I don't know. Let's just try like a goofy prompt, unicorn in a rainbow landscape dream scene. Okay. And then also dream. Let's just do some different dream things, right? No. I have landscape twice. Let's try that. This is also, by the way, this is kind of like the live effect when you try to stream. Like I can guarantee you, if I go offline and try the same thing, I get like way better results than I get right now because it's just a live effect. It's always very strange. I played with Grok. Imagine if when it was free. I thought it was amazing. Grok was pretty cool at the beginning, and now it's like very, very limited for what you can get and what you can do with it. And it's personally, I think it's not worth the money anymore. Now you have like a weekly budget of how much you can create, and you basically use up that weekly budget in 1 or 2 days if you're busy with it. And then you can wait for a week, and then you get another budget, but it's not much. Like in the past, you could do like 30, 40 videos a day with it. Pretty cool videos also. And now it's kind of like that, you know. So yeah, I feel like the old models are way more creative. Let's try this also here. Do we have the other old model? Yes, 6.1. You know what? Let's go here to Grok and say, give me 5 DreamCore prompts. Why think if the machine can think for you? There we go. It's curation, not creation, my friends. We are beyond creation now. Ah, okay, interesting. Let's try this. I don't even read it. Let's just push this in here. Oh. And by the way, let's try it like this and then try it with a higher model. Like this is the latest model. Let's go to 7 and try it. And then try the same thing again with 8.2. I feel like 8.2 is kind of like limited. Ooh. Oh, this is with the swings. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see what the other things do. So this is 6.1. It's doing stuff wrong, but I like the scene. And then we have 7, which is also wrong, but more right. And then we have 8.1, which is more correct, but less creative. Oh, and then also put in the personalization and see what we get from that. Holy crap. Yeah, my personalization is always super extremely, how would you call that? Pop candy horror. I don't know why it does that. I think I voted the wrong images. But maybe, I don't know. Okay. Let's see the next one here. Which one was the best? I think 7 was more like in tune with what I would say is kind of like DreamCore. A childhood bedroom, so there we have it. Let's take this one. And then take this one. And then I'm just going to write scene from a very strange but beautiful dream. Let's see. Put this in here and put it again and put it again. There we go. Let's see what we got. Ooh, Okay, so this is more positive. Oh, okay. I guess we're getting somewhere that's nicer. And there we have the dream scenes that are still getting finished. There we have like a bridge of houses going into the clouds. Kind of cool. Should we animate that? Let's animate this low motion, let's say. As usually, I only have a 20 gigabyte of space on my drives. Because you render too much or what? I mean, you can always get like a HDD, one of these server disks or something like that with 8 or 16 terabytes. They're not that expensive and you have like massive storage. So that's pretty cool. Right now I'm still doing it with LTX 2.3, but probably set up an H3 workflow soon. Okay. Oh, by the way, as far as I know, Midjourney doesn't do any audio on their videos. Let's also do this as a video. So there we have actually some pretty nice scenes, I would say. Ooh. Okay. So you just have to write dreamlike scene. Ooh. With the giant monster. All right. Ooh. Okay. So think less and just write scene from a very strange dream. And then the universe will deliver to you. Ooh. Okay. This is way better than what I can think about. Again, the machine, you know. Ooh. A little bit too much birds. I mean, this is like getting the horror movie is coming back. Do we have some horror sounds here right now? Oh. So this is what the scene is with horror sounds. I mean, couldn't this be an interesting thing, like a DreamCore thing, where you make like beautiful scenes, but then have horrible sounds to them? So they completely lose their appeal. And you basically try to trigger multiple emotions at the same time, right? Wouldn't that be interesting? Let me go here to the second one. Oh, it doesn't do it. 1 second. Ooh, that's kind of a strange bell. Okay, this is apparently I can't push multiple. Why are they so strange sounds? I wanted to have something nice. What is this? What am I listening to right now? I wanted to have something nice, but it doesn't do it. Let's try this real quick. Is this better? What do you think about that? I think I'm better with horror sounds than the beautiful sounds. Oh man. Ooh. Also interesting. This would be good with some like do you have something that sounds like water maybe? No. Oh, we have wet sounds. Yeah, no idea. This might be nice. A little bit too loud though. Oh. But also a little bit too much, right? Is that good? Yeah, relaxing, is it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm good with the good sounds. Also, it's not easy to find good sounds here that sound like positive, right? There we have bright sounds. Oh, wait a second. I just thought about maybe, can we have short sounds? Is there something that says short? Tempo synced? That? Lo-fi? That sounds good. How is that lo-fi? There we have flute sounds. Okay, we can try that. By the way, why is there a pop-up here? So go away. I can also try to change this here. 1 second. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Okay. Let's see what else we have here from the video side. Ooh. Oh. This is again pretty like scary. What? What is going on? Like Midjourney is so strange with the stuff it's doing. The heck is this? This is again more in the horror kind of area, I would say, sound wise. I can switch over to the one we had before. Yeah, Let's go higher here. Not, does not go higher. Oh, it doesn't. So if you want to do horrible, horror kind of DreamCore, we have kind of an easier time. But I think if you combine this as an interesting way and maybe also have more animation, that there's like video animation software to do that even live to the sounds and make this as an installation, I think you can do some pretty interesting stuff with that. Is this guy doing yoga or her? The heck is going on here? A little bit, right? It would probably be better if he's like just standing and the camera is going out to the sea. Should we try that real quick? 1 second. Ooh. I mean, it does do, Midjourney does do some fantastic images, right? Look at that. I think with some more like time, and I've seen like with Seedance too, you can draw a path and then it's animating the camera movement inside of the scene. I think that might be really interesting. Let me animate this real quick. Let me see what we can do here. Let's say the camera. To the right. Let's see what we get from that. By the way, one thing you can also see in Midjourney is there isn't really any way to set the length of it. You can extend it afterwards, but there isn't really any kind of way to set it up to like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, stuff like that. And the guidance of the camera also isn't really there too much. At least working version of backup and link the models from the separate location. Okay. There we go. The one with the monster is also cool. I'm not sure if we should animate this. We can try. Let's see. Let's see. The man is walking. Whoops. Let's see if this does anything. I don't know. Okay. This is also very nice. And I think if you take this and then put it over to some other page and say like there's a fish swimming through the landscape or something, you can do that, but you can't do it here. We can also try that on Runway. But let's for a second see what's happening here. Ooh. Okay. It's not really going into the scene, but it's going to the right. And the boat is moving a little bit. Let's go back to our, what do we have here? Flute sounds from before? Okay, these are not the right sounds. By the way, if I go out of this and then Dream Flute, no. Ooh. No. No, not really. Oh, we have a pan pipe. None of these. Oh, a pan pipe. Or pan pipe? I don't know what this says. Multi-track plugged strings. Quick start, what is that? No. No, no, no. Okay. For this one, I don't know, to be honest. Anyways. Okay. 1 second. We wanted to look at the other one. Did this do anything? I mean, the guy is walking in a very strange way. Very relaxed, looking at the sky, and then this thing is just like floating a little bit to the left. I don't know what it is, not like doing some monster kind of movement, but it's not, it's missing, right? It's missing. Would be good to have some more. The pitch bend is helping a lot, right? To make it more eerie. Oh. Interesting. The silent apocalypse monster, yeah, totally. Just hovering in the sky in an eerie way. Very strange. It would be, I think, more eerie if it would be bigger and hovering like that, but it's not too bad. But the guy is very relaxed. For a monster being there, he's very relaxed about that. Right. This one is a very nice scene. I wish it was a little bit easier to find nicer sounds, to be honest, right now. By the way, I can turn off the sound so you don't have to listen to the preview. Even though this doesn't help me right now. 1 moment. Oh, okay. So I think this might really help. Let's see. I feel like Midjourney is very good for this kind of like storyboarding of figuring out or coming up with interesting ideas for scenes, and then of course doing more with that. And I feel like adding sound to that, it really elevates it to something different, right? Depending on what sound you use for that. But I feel like if you hear this sound, you get a very different connection to the emotion of what the person could think right now that is looking at that, compared to some more eerie sound or something like that, right? Let me look for a different sound real quick. Let's see. Nope. One moment. All right. 1 second. If you have that in comparison, like this, for example. I feel like it makes it a completely different scene, right? It's more unsettling. The sound is breaking off, stuff like that. It sounds kind of strange. So it's more, it feels more disconnected, right? Because the before one was more like in a positive, like uplifting way, and this feels more like in a psychological something is wrong kind of way, right? And I feel like this is also the kind of element of creating your own like sound. Of course, like abstract sound is the easiest to create because there's like no relation to you can compare it to compared to like actual music, where it's easier to create that, and then you still get a lot of more control over how people feel about the scenes because music adds so much emotion and emotional interpretation to the scene, right? So the combination of you guiding the sound, or even if you create the sound with AI and then having the scene like that, is giving you way more direction, but also creating this emotional sub context that we talked about at the beginning, right? So expressive wise, I think this combination can be good, especially if you maybe do more with the scene and adjust it and do something in video programs and things like that, right? By the way, if you can tell me like prompt wise, how would I make a sound like that in Suno? Because Suno always like gives you I feel like a melody, right? So if I go here and then I say I want to have like non-melodic, I don't know if this is even, if I should write this in here. Dream Atmo. Let's see if this does anything. I think they have a negative prompt in the advanced part. If this works right now, this is the typical thing of like live, you know, where you say, oh, it doesn't work, and then it works immediately. Let's see. Oh no, there's the melody. I mean, it's not bad. But you see, it's becoming a song. It's becoming music. It doesn't really just do atmosphere. If it would have stayed in the first part, But it has to make it into a song every single time. That's kind of annoying. Even though it's not too bad, to be honest, but it's just... Let's try the second one here. I'm going a little bit forward. Yeah, again, you can see like drums, rhythm, blah. You just wouldn't use Suno. What would you use instead to create something like that? Musicful? Oh, really? I mean, there is one here for sounds too, if you only want to have sounds. But then you have to put the sound into your sampler, right? Or something like that to make it into something else. Musicful. What is musicful? Let's see. 1 second. Let me switch to the big screen real quick. 1 moment. Musicful. Ah, there we go. Do I have to sign up? One second. Let's try the exact same prompt. Whoops. Yeah, you have to sign up. So I can't do it right now. You have to make an account, and I don't want to make an account because I don't know that page. Whoops, sorry. There we go. This is what it looks like, but I don't have an account. So I can't actually do something. Use soundtrack. Oh, soundtrack, really? Soundtrack, let's see. But I feel even with soundtrack, it's probably also making it epic. Wow. Now we have like a child drawing with a bell. Let's see what this is. Let's see where we go with this. I mean, the good thing is you can always rip it apart in your like own music software if you want to. But it's not eerie, right? It's more beautiful than eerie. And again, it's like, it's music. It's actually music. Let's try the second one. I'm going to jump into it. Oh, it doesn't do it because it's not finished yet. Yeah. Yeah, it's music. The thing is, Suno is very good with any kind of like pop music and stuff like that, or hip hop and things like that, lo-fi, jazz music, really good. Also, if you want to do like, for example, travel videos, background music for travel videos, you get some great stuff if you want, right? So for that, it's really, really nice. You know, background. You're somewhere in Asia on a market, film the people cooking food and stuff like that. Great background music for that, right? So yeah, for that, easy. Or this kind of like background chill out music for work. Yeah, but if you want to have something eerie, some like this. It's better if you do it yourself, which also is not that hard because it's just abstract sound, right? All right. By the way, we have already streamed 2 hours, so I'm not sure how much we should go on. Let's go back to Midjourney real quick and see what else we have, if we have seen everything or not. But I think we did. We have this guy, we have the crazy birds. Some of the scenes are pretty cool. I'm pretty sure if we animate this, the birds are going to look really stupid when they fly to the sky. But like I said, like for catching atmospheres and getting a mood board and stuff like that, it's pretty nice. And then maybe you can even, like in a different software with ChatGPT image or something, remove these birds and then animate this in Seedance in a more controlled way, right? But artistically, nothing comes close to Midjourney. So that's one of the things, like with the style and everything, and the colors specifically, it's just really good. Even though I think this is the 7.1 model. Yeah, this is the 7.1 model. No, the 7 model. It's not the 8 point something model, the newest. The newest one is kind of like too literal in what it's doing. The 7 one I feel like was better. These are also nice, but there's not really much to animate here. To be honest, I thought like the DreamCore stuff is going to be a little bit easier with creating something. I mean, this one was pretty nice. Let's go here and say DreamCore scene and push this a couple of times and see what we get from that. Again, this is with 7. It's not the newest model, because the newest model, let's also put one with the newest model, but I feel like it's too literal. It's not creative enough. Look at these beautiful scenes that you get from there. I mean, it's not finished yet, so we have to wait a little bit. Wow. A little bit, you know what I mean? A little bit from the Goa parties. But yeah, interesting, more positive, nice scenes. This one could also be very nice. Ooh. Oh, this is even a bed in kind of like a very strange fantasy forest. Wow, look at that. It's pretty cool. Maybe next time we should start with that kind of thing. Oh, holy crap. Look at that. Wow. Okay. I want to animate this. 1 second. Should we go, let's go high motion here and then say, man moving forward, camera slow, following. My voice is getting a little bit gravelly. I think it's also time to finish the stream for now. But these are some fantastic scenes. Look at that. Like, tell me any AI model that can do something like that in the creative department. Because like a lot of the modern models, they are really good, but they are not creative. And they don't have this, like, the thing that like touches you, the emotional, like reaching you emotionally is something Midjourney does really good, right? Also made a lot of music on Udio, hundreds of tracks. Yeah, it's just like, oh, there we go. Wow. Okay, the walking, for some reason, what is up with this super cool walk? Why does every walk have to be like, yeah, what the hell? I'm just here, there, doing my stuff. Why? Just walk normally, you know? What's up with this? He's like, he's going to a party. Otherwise, pretty cool. I like the little like handshake from the camera. Makes it more like a subjective camera. But the walk is too gangster. By the way, these images are... Oh no, there's a global V7 profile. Where's my V8 image? Did it not render? Oh god, my voice. 8.2, there we go. Let's try again. What does it say? It says 7. Why does it say 7? Oh, the global pro... Ah. Wait, let me turn this off. Now it says nothing, which probably means it's 8.2, which is ugly as hell. Look at that. This is like, I mean, not too bad, but like too much. I mean, maybe this one a little bit, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad image, but it's like, it doesn't feel artistic. It doesn't feel warm, you know? This also, it's too much in the face. So it's not a nice image. This one, on the other hand, is very interesting, very nice. I like that. But maybe also this is because of the global profile for sure, where you can do the personalization, which means that you vote in images that you like, and it tries to create images like that. By the way, I have to animate this because this is kind of cool. The camera. The shapes. The glowing shapes. Act like goo. That is moving upwards. Let's see if we get anything from that. Commercial purposes. Interesting. Wow. Look at these beautiful scenes. Okay, next time, less prompts, more content. Wow, look at those. Why now? I don't understand that. Why is this happening now? Why not an hour ago? Now it's pushing out all these cool images. What the hell is going on? Okay, let's see what we get from that. And then let's see from, did we get a video here? Oh. Okay, so high motion, the things are not going upwards at all. The motion is a little bit too intense, maybe. But I guess if you put this into CapCut and then use what is it called? Like there's a mode that creates 60 frames per second video, which like makes a smooth animation, and then you can just slow it down. You get a slow motion video out of that, and that might be good. But the chittering, what is up with the chittering in the video? The quality is insane. Look at that chitter here. I have to write their Discord. I don't know what's going on here. Never seen that, to be honest. Also, the bubbles here are not rising. But this is, why do we get this now? Now that the stream is basically at its end, we get this cool DreamCore stuff here. It's really, it's very annoying. Wait, can we find some? Oh. I have a good sound for you. Listen to that, my friends. I feel like that fits really well, right? Could be also maybe some other sounds a little bit more positive. This is a little bit eerie maybe, but it certainly has a dreamlike quality, right? I feel like that is pretty interesting. Let me try if I can find. Let's see if I can find another sound. How would that sound? No. How would that sound? Wait, let me change this. Okay, almost. I know you don't hear it, but I do this because I don't want to annoy you with the all the sound going on. Oh my god. There we have the synth. Oh, the sequencer. It's going too fast, and I'm not quite sure how to change this right now, because this is already like the slowest rate, but you can listen to it 1 second. Just let me get the video back. But I don't think this is really fitting. 1 second. This would be nicer if it wouldn't be that fast. Okay. It would be nice to have one. Okay, we can use that. A good sound for the... Again with the overlay here. Fuck off. No, go away. Man, every time. Yeah, the other one was better before. It's not great. This is better. There we go. Hell's bells. Okay. Let's go back to the big screen. There we go. Okay, little exploration today of the DreamCore part. I think we can explore a little bit more next time maybe, or something else. Let's see. And all the crazy stuff I did a couple of months ago with Seedance, because Seedance 2.5 is out, so I should explore that and explore prompts and what to do with that and create some interesting scenes and combine them. And then I'm going to show you the process of how I'm doing that. So I want to plan, for example, I thought maybe do 2 or 3 tutorials per week and then a live stream. So not I don't want to go back to the crazy every video every day, things like that. But yeah, figuring that stuff out, showing you the process, probably more with stuff like Seedance, because you have way more control there. But a combination maybe with Midjourney out of this kind of like dreamlike quality and artistic quality. So yeah. And there, if you want to have something nice, it's, I think, always a good idea to start exploring the idea on Midjourney with the image generation, and then maybe switch over to something else for the video animation. But today everything was Midjourney. Hey Murphy, thank you very much. Also nice to see you again. Was a long time, yes. So I want to recreate now that I have figured out a lot of stuff for myself to create these processes and tutorials and stuff like that. And I also will look at the offline models unless they use crazy amounts of hardware, because that is one of the biggest problems, is that at the beginning with SD 1.5, everything was really super easy and you could do it on an old laptop and still create some pretty cool stuff. But now with these massive models, if you need like a really expensive graphic card, I'm not sure like too many people can follow. But then you have like online pages where you can create a lot of stuff and be creative like that. And we can also figure out some other processes, right? Midjourney is pretty cool, yes. It's has, like I said, this like artistic quality. I'm making DreamCore today, or I have made DreamCore today in the videos. Why is my, like, if you haven't streamed for some time, you're not used to talk for 2 hours and you get this like raspy voice. I used to, in the past, stream for like 6 or 7 hours back in the day when I did photo editing and talked for the whole time. But your voice has to get used to that. So I have to work myself up a little bit to talking more, right? Also, you need a 5090 for offline video. I don't even have a 5090. I have a 4080. Back from the day, not only when it was cheap, but also when it was free. I did a live stream when NVIDIA sent me that graphics card, and I actually built a PC around that. I bought all the rest of the hardware to build that up in a live stream, which I think I think the stream is like 4 hours long to put everything into the case. And fitting the graphic card in there and stuff like that. I haven't built like a PC for a couple of years, but yeah. Anyways, so that was a pretty good time. It was very nice seeing all of you in the stream. And then, of course, yeah, I want to go back to doing a stream every Sunday. I have to like still be getting more conversational in the live stream, but I want to keep up this idea of talking about topics at the start for a long time and then doing AI after that. And one of the reasons I want to do this is to bring the channel more into the direction of opinion rather than just tutorial, because tutorial is in a certain way an empty format, because a tutorial is like a cooking recipe. You look it up online and then you never go back to that page. You don't connect to the person who has written the cooking recipe. And the same is for a tutorial. Like, you look it up, you do the thing, and then you're gone, right? But opinion is different. It connects you more to the person. So it's kind of like, I feel like that is kind of a good direction to go in, and let's see if it works out. I don't know yet. My GPU is a 2080 with 8 GB. And can you do video on that? Probably not, right? It's probably taking a full day to get like 30 seconds out of that, right? So not viable. Probably better to just like pay some online service to do the videos. Now that they have done quantization, that can run on almost any GPU, just a little slower usually. Really? Which model does do that with any GPU, the quantization? Marcus, you've got a better one someday. There's some models that work on 8 GB as well. For video? Interesting. I have to check that out. I haven't done any offline stuff for like a long time. The last offline stuff I did was when like the early days of AI video. and then also when Flux and stuff came around, and then afterwards I switched over more to online stuff because it was just like way easier and faster to render any of that, right? And also you can't really record a video when 100% of your graphics card is busy with rendering a video. You can't record at that time. You can't live stream at that time. So it's kind of like breaking everything. Not to pay for AI. Yeah, right. It's always like, this is, I think, something that they need to figure out in the future. And of course, like, video AI is just one of the most expensive things to do at all. And the other things, it's always like the question how useful it is. I think a lot of AI is moving in the direction of being a helpful tool rather than replacing something. Always depending, of course, in what direction you look. For example, for music, I feel like all of these online, like 8-hour streams or something with relaxing music, they are fully AI now. And also the cover art is AI. And also other things that is just like background music, I don't know, hip hop instrumentals and stuff like that, because like, why would you do that still? And also with the licensing and stuff like that, also like film music, I would never again, to be honest, buy music for travel videos in the background. I saw a video recently from a big German YouTuber. His name is Gronk. Maybe you know him. He had a long legal battle with music platforms because he used music that he paid for, but then the video was watched more than the license was good for, apparently. I don't know. Or the music was like something bought from a different platform or something like that. So he was sued to pay them more money. And the bands, the creators, the artists of the music have no longer been with the platform, and they wrote him and said, hey, thank you for giving us so much attention and exposure through your videos. You can use our music, but he was still sued by the platforms because the platforms wanted to get the money out of that, even though he got the how can you say, the artists allowed him to use the music. The platforms didn't allow him to use the music, and that kind of like licensing bullshit. It's just better to just like make AI music for the background of your videos, right? Also for the outros and stuff like that, to not run into any kind of legal problems. A 4080 with LTX 2.3, 30-second video is no problem. I have to check that out. Are you on my Discord? Because then I could maybe write you and you can show me, and then maybe I can do a tutorial about that to show people, to share that process with them so they can do that also. If you're in my Discord, maybe write me a like ping me now in the chat, or write something in the chat on Discord, and then I DM you, and then we can talk about it. Let me open up Discord real quick, just so if there is something, I'm gonna see that. In the share and what? Share and chat room, please. If you do that, I'm gonna send you a DM right away. License bureaucracy, I say here. I heard that. Yeah, that's a big thing. And license is like it's a nightmare. You have to download all of the licenses, keep track of that with other platforms like Evanto. You have to download the track every single time, or at least the license when you want to use that. And good luck remembering from all of the stuff that you have like downloaded over the years where it came from or what kind of like terms the license has or doesn't have? Can I use it only on my channel or maybe also on a second channel? Can it use it on different social media platforms? Or can I change it or can I not change it? All that kind of bullshit, you know? So if you just create your own music, then you don't have to worry because it's your music. Oh, I saw yours. I'm going to write your DM right now, and then we can talk afterwards, right? Okay, cool. There we go. Right, yeah, just make your own thing, right? It's just way easier. To be more numerical things and then using AI as co-op on designing. Oh, I wanted to make a video about that. I'm not sure how good the idea is to make a video about that. But for example, MIT has made a research where they found that apparently for over 70%, 75% of companies who use AI actually have to pay more for the AI usage than for the employees who would do the same stuff. Because, of course, like explaining complex things to AI and then having to get it right is really, really hard. So, and that's one of the things that differentiates AI from software is software will give you the same result every single time. AI will give you a different result every single time. So, but the difference for that is where the industry is changing right now. They understood that, they saw it doesn't work, but it does work in other areas. For example, agentic AI, where you go through a step-by-step process, have way more control over that, or other applications of AI that have a very like narrow window of activity that can actually go through. And in this process, it is actually just supporting the people who do the job, right? And so you can do more work in shorter time, but you're still the employee. But at the same time, one thing to consider is the stuff in the future is going to be way more complex and a way higher volume. So it's not actually reducing jobs, it's actually creating new jobs. But with the support of AI, you're just way more efficient at doing more stuff that has to be created. And a simple example for that is like, for example, in the past, if you would make a video game, one person could write something like Tetris and like change the world with a video game. And now if you think about GTA 6, you have like a 500 million budget and hundreds or thousands of people working on a single video game. So it's still just one game, but you need way more people and way more skill and way more technology. And all of that is with the support of computers already mixed into the process, right? So AI will just like create massively higher quality and volume. Yeah, but with the same people, but as a tool, right? What? You're policing yourself on other people's behalf. What are we talking about right now? Who is policing who? As long as you can prove a song was made with a specific model, the whole idea is kind of silly. What idea is kind of silly? Well, sorry, I'm losing track here. The handbook so far is over 2,000 pages and slowly getting. What are we talking about right now? The storytelling really fun. What handbook? Sorry, I'm completely missing out on what the conversation is about right now. Demonetize you. The what? Space through? Like is eh? Oh, okay. Different conversation. Right. Okay. I mean, there is this kind of like demonetization of AI YouTube channels and sometimes not even AI channels. But I think right now they just try to figure out how to do it, but in a very like stupid and corporate way. But you have to also remember that like Google and YouTube are really, really big companies. So there's a lot of like levels between who decides and who does the actual job. And this is where this craziness and stupidness comes from, is that the left hand and the right hand doesn't really know what it's doing, right? So they are like, yeah, doing crazy stupid things. And hopefully this is going to even out at a certain point. Yeah. All right, there we go. I would say enough is enough. Let me cue the music. What is this? Oh, this is Discord. This is on my browser. 1 second. Let me cue the music. Where do we have? Oh, we can actually use this kind of like lo-fi music from before. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. It was nice to see everybody again. Thank you very much for that. And I hope you have a good night or a good day, depending on where you are. And yeah, I'm gonna do more videos from now on again, starting with, let's say, 2 videos per week in a live stream, and then once in a while walk and talk video. And I hope you enjoy that kind of content too. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye.